Good morning. Here I am back in the studio today working on these baby triangle quilts that I'm doing for a friend of mine. It's turning out great. I really love it, but it's been quite a bit of a process figuring out how to make the quilts in this size because the original pattern that I bought to do this didn't have the size that I wanted. So I basically had to completely deconstruct the pattern and create it in a new size. So I want to show you the process. Come on over to my cutting board. So what I wanted to do is piece all the white background as strips. So like this should have been 6 or 7 triangles or something like that. I wanted to cut those as strips rather than have to piece every triangle. So there are lots of different strip sizes. So what I did was in EQ8 I created the triangle pattern, and you can see up close it shows all the white triangles. So the most important part of this to know is that I did that in EQ8, but you can download triangle graph paper and draw any triangle quilt design that you want to. And that way you've got your own template to follow as you go. But the hard part of this was figuring out the math, and I decided to work on 4.5-inch strips. I cut 4.5-inch strips. I used the 30-degree line on my ruler. Let me show you that. I've got this ruler that has the 30, 45, and 60-degree lines. I used the 30-degree line, lined it up with my strip, and then was able to cut the triangle template, the basis for this quilt. So, but because I wanted to piece them in strips, I needed a method for figuring out how long a strip was without having to, do all the different triangles. So believe it or not, I cut a ton of white triangles, and then I literally stitched them together to create templates for each size of strip that I will need to cut. So this one you can see was 4 triangles and a little half triangle for the end. So that's the template for any piece that size. And I did that for every strip that I need to cut for this quilt. That way they are a fairly foolproof set of templates for making the quilt that I'm working on. So all you have to do is draft a triangle quilt design idea on graph paper, look at how many triangles go in a row, stitch a template for it out of paper, and that's your cutting template. So it's a pretty easy way to deconstruct a triangle quilt pattern and make it in any size that you want. So after this one, I might move on to larger triangles and try a different design. So I'll share a bit more about the process with you in the future.